Farm for Profit Podcast. Take a listen, have a blast. Farm for Profit Podcast. Learn about farming while having a laugh. Farm for Profit Podcast.
All right, Chris, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for traveling with Luke.
Hey, we got here, didn't we?
Barely.
Is that hard? Have you traveled with Luke? Is that a hard thing to do?
No, but I had to give Luke a little bit of a hard time because he's here and the show's not about him.
It's
always about me.
His tires really howl on his pickup, so it's like really bad. I didn't really. He said it was bad, but I didn't really realize how bad it was.
He hasn't got out of that high school mentality. Still got the.
I got to sell more equipment so I can get some new tires.
Yeah,
Come on, people.
you got three the same and one different.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a true sign of we need to get new tires. So, Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself. Did you grow up in agriculture?
Yeah, Chris there. Grew up in agriculture throughout my whole life. Went to the University of Nebraska in Omaha.
Oh my god!
Wrestled there for 5 years and got out of ag for the 5 years I was at school, but figured I would try to get back into it. So worked a few years in the semi-trailer industry and sales, and then had the opportunity to go work for a John Deere dealership in southwest Iowa, basically. And it was Horizon Equipment at the time. And then been in the ag industry selling equipment for the last 16 years. Did a little changing around. Started with John Deere, went to another John Deere dealership. It was AgriVision Equipment, and then left there to manage the Vetter Equipment Case IH dealership in Missouri Valley for a year and a half. Found out that I like John Deere a lot better, so I went back to AgriVision for the last 2.5, and now just took a new role with Beck's Seed and
Double whammy.
seed advisor for them in charge of 3 counties over Pottawatomie, Harrison, and Monona County.
So you'd be like a DSM.
Yeah.
Like a
Yep.
district
Yep.
salesperson.
Looking for dealers in my area.
So you're not you're not selling out of like your farm shop.
No, don't have no farm shop. Just looking for dealers and yeah.
Okay.
So you've pretty much been in ag sales your entire career
Yeah.
of some kind.
Yeah. I still do a little of my own buying and selling equipment. Not on a very big scale, but still passionate about it. But wanted to, with the way the equipment was changing, figured I needed to take a different role. Had an opportunity to go work for Beck's, and kind of a family-owned dealership. And we're coming from the corporate world on John Deere. It wasn't fun anymore.
And you grew up in Western Iowa?
Northwest Iowa, Odie Iowa.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Odie.
That's why you
Where
know
do you
too
live
much
now?
about it.
Chris is on the water tower at Odie. If anybody wants to drive over there.
In a green heart?
No. Wrestling singlet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Chris was a 2-time state champion?
Yeah, 2-time
Yep.
state champ. Yep.
No.
For Odebolt?
For Odie Arthur, yeah.
You look like you weigh a little more than 125 pounds right now.
Yeah. Oh, boy, yeah. Not much, just a few.
So funny story about Chris. I did a visit to UNO as a senior for wrestling, and it was at their annual banquet, and Chris was getting ready in the party house beforehand. So that's how I met Chris. And then Chris has got Stamp Family Farms on the hook for a lot of equipment over the years. And when he made the switch to Beck's, it was a natural fit for me to snag Chris up to help me sell some equipment on the side. But
Yep.
I've known Chris for a long time, and I remember watching Chris on TV as a kid back when they used to do it on IPTV, if you guys remember that.
Yeah. You ready to make that last pass? Listen up. XR5 KSB from Ag Explorer isn't just another jug. It's built to match exactly what your crop wants when it wants it. This isn't guesswork. It's 25 years of boots on the ground, education-first agronomy. These folks walk fields, explain the why, and build programs that actually work. Want to finish strong? This is your pass. Let's go. So if you didn't get the first 2 shows with Luke, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm from Southwest Iowa as well. Grew up in Persia, Iowa. 4th generation family farmer. Still involved in the operation with my dad, my mom, and my twin brother Mike. And along with that, I also took a role with DPA auction here a year ago, just almost a year ago. I was with a national seed company for about 11 years and decided that I was going to try something a little different. Met the guys at DPA auction and decided to take over the role as the VP of sales, and been continuing to grow that brand. And a big part of that is getting to partner with you guys here at Farm for Profit. It's been very beneficial, not only for me, but for the company to branch out and get our name out there in the industry. So that is the 1,000-foot view of me in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Did we miss this earlier? So are you Persian?
I am Persian.
You are Persian.
Yeah.
So are you?
You could call me a lot worse things, so Persian's fine.
A Persian princess.
Unlike Chris, I wrestled a lot longer after him and a lot heavier.
What do you mean a lot longer?
A lot longer after you.
Well, Chris was somebody's kryptonite. There's an article here on Facebook from 1996 that said you beat this kid like 6 or 7 times and he could never beat you. So you must have been pretty good even as a youngster.
They had Facebook in 1996.
That would have been probably Jesse Sundell from Ogden.
Yeah.
He was 4-time state champ, and I beat him a lot as a little kid. Didn't beat him in high school state, but he was a couple of weights a weight lighter than me in high school. So I ended up winning my weight classes. He won his. He won 4. I won 2.
So
Nice.
how did you end up going to Nebraska you have 2 very good wrestling programs here in the state? Actually, several, more than that even.
Yeah, I didn't really get recruited much by him. I did get recruited by UNI. Did go look there. Didn't choose there. That was right when Mark Manning from Nebraska, he was at UNI. So he was at UNI, recruited me. Then he went to Nebraska. I liked him, but the new guy that came to be the head coach, I didn't really care for. So I looked. My aunt lived in Omaha. I went to UNO wrestling camps as a kid when I was younger. Kind of had a tie there, I guess. And then had an opportunity to go wrestle for them, and enjoyed it.
So are you still connected to the wrestling program?
UNO?
Yeah.
No.
They don't have one.
It's
Oh.
they
Canceled it.
They canceled it like in 2011 or 12, I think. They went D1, and the head guy canceled the program and the football program. So
if there's any Husker fans on here that they probably don't like
Yeah,
Trev
Trev
Alberts
that's his
anymore
name,
because he's
Trev,
at
yeah.
Texas A&M. He went to Lincoln after
Yeah.
UNO and just left. So he's kind of a cuss word over on the western side of the state. UNO was great. They'd won 5 or 6 national titles maybe.
We won 3 national titles when I was there, and then
3 more
I think
after.
skipped a year, and they won another 3. So they won like 7 national titles in like 8 years or something like that. Powerhouse program, and
Makes it fun negotiating with Chris. He's kind of bullheaded if you can't get it by looking at him.
so but yeah, they canceled the program. So they won their 6th title, and canceled the program that night. They went to Kearney, wrestled, won the program, won the national title. They got the head coach, Mike Denny, got a phone call from Trev that night, said, "Congratulations on your championship, but we're canceling your program." Locked the building, couldn't even get in the next day.
I was there. As I was going to Kearney for school at the time out in Nebraska, and I was hanging out with all the wrestlers, and they got a phone call. It was crazy. Like, true story.
Yeah.
AD
Talk about
called
going
him
out
and
on
said,
top.
Yeah, like
That's true.
one minute partying, the next minute,
"Where am I going to
not.
school?"
Like, yeah, what's going on? So
Yeah. Chris and I could talk about wrestling all day long.
That's why. And I don't know very much about the sport. Like I was a basketball player all grown up. Obviously a Cyclone fan, so I know that there's been good wrestlers. But I don't know if I've gone to a collegiate wrestling match. Is that what you call it? Match?
yeah,
Yeah.
match, tournament,
yeah.
meet.
You don't
yeah.
call 'em games.
Duel,
There you go.
yeah.
I wrestled a little bit, just dabbled like, I don't know, middle school. Tried it. I went to basketball, but I don't know. I had a bunch of friends that did it.
But yeah, no, currently in it. Got 3 kids, 3 boys that wrestle. So travel all around for it.
Yeah. Did you grow up an Iowa or Iowa State fan?
Hawkeyes, wrestling.
God, I don't know why you brought him.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is
You know what? I'm an
every
Iowa
box.
State fan, but if you didn't like Hawkeye wrestling back in the
we
prime,
already made him take his hat off and got him a new hat. Then we learned about Nebraska, Hawkeye fan.
wrong seed. Man, we just let
Ooh,
anybody
this is
in here.
up.
but nobody knows
Adam.
more about equipment than Chris. So I had to bring
You
somebody,
said, you
right?
said it was warm in here. That's probably
It's
why.
getting hotter.
Heating up. Well, I was going to put pants on to come in here, and I was like, you know what? I bet the AC isn't working just like it was the other day, and I'm going to stay in shorts.
Yeah, that's all right. I got a nice free-flowing shirt on.
There you go. There you go.
I was going to ask. The reason I asked if you stayed close to the program is I've always been curious about football, basketball, wrestling, what it was like when you wrestled versus what athletes get treated like today.
Oh boy.
No NIL back then.
Yeah, I don't know.
Better,
There's
no one
more
knew about it.
more rules and regulations. I mean, with cutting weight and stuff, I suppose.
Yeah.
Still intense. I mean, like me and Luke were talking on the way down today. I mean, starting out little kids, it's getting so much more advanced. You got better coaches, you got better facilities. Now it's not just wrestling, a couple nights a week. It's you live there 4 nights a week, 5 nights a week, plus tournaments on the weekend, travel, and it's a lot different, I'd say. I mean, I grew up we rolled the mat out in the gym, and your dad's, wrestle with you a couple, nights a week, and then you're home doing stuff and chores and stuff. Yeah. Now kids don't have that opportunity to have time to experience, I suppose, livestock and farming and stuff like that. So
That is true. These sports have gotten, especially all these travel teams and all that. Luke and Tanner know that all too well. What are you doing next weekend? Well, I have no idea, but I can tell you I'm going to be at a ball diamond or court or a wrestling mat somewhere.
I think, I guess for me and Luke, I know he does basketball with his daughters and stuff. It's kind of fun for me too, though, because you get to meet parents, talk to people, networking. Mm-hmm. And that's, I guess, one thing with the wrestling. Shoot, you might go over to Des Moines, you might go Nebraska somewhere, and you'll run across somebody that, hey, I know you from wrestling back in the day, or whatever. Like even with Luke and his brother Mike. I mean, we didn't know each other as kids, but the minute you go sit in a John Deere dealership and Kurt Stamp comes walking in to buy some equipment, he's like, oh, I know Chris there, and you just hit it off. It's huge. Networking. It's great.
Yeah.
It is. I go through different spurts. Like I find myself sometimes I just want to sit there in the bleacher or in my chair and not talk to anybody. And then there's other times to where I can't believe it's the 5th inning or the 4th quarter or whatever it is, because all I've done is talk to the parents throughout the entire time. So it comes and goes for me at least. But the parents do make it a little bit more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Because our teams don't win a lot.
No.
Probably a 30% winning percentage. So you got to enjoy something else.
I'm curious how you guys, this is a farm for profit podcast, and so we want to help farmers be more profitable, but you guys that travel every weekend, you're staying in hotels or Airbnbs or whatever, you're like, it's not close to home a lot. You're eating out, you're planning meals. Like, is this a budget item that you guys look at the beginning of the year?
Absolutely. We talked about that on the way up, didn't
Yeah.
we? We were talking about traveling, and my daughter and wife were away in Cincinnati 2 weeks ago, and we started figuring out what it cost, and we'd stopped figuring out what it cost. Kind of like if you want to trade tractors, or we talked about lease programs on the way up. And it's like, I'd rather just not know if I'm upside down right now in the budget. Let's just keep going forward.
True farmer mentality there. If I don't know it, I can't be mad about it. Yeah.
We had that discussion too. I was like, was that guy upset? He was on the phone on the way up. Was he upset? I don't think he knows. It just is what it is. But I'll circle back though. He's right. I think in Iowa and the Midwest in general, especially in the ag community, there's a lot of people that just know a lot of people from growing up, whether it's athletics or it just seems like our industry is a lot more close knit than what you'd find maybe in construction or whatever.
There's just less of us, right? I mean, right? The 1% or whatever that's growing food, but then there's so many people that support it. We all either went to college or knew this person, knew that person. Like it's a pretty tight knit community.
It is.
Yep.
It is.
which is cool.
It is cool. Yep.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, right? We've connected with a lot of our listeners via social media, and we get to connect with them every once in a while when we show up at trade shows or these field days throughout the summer. And it is fascinating that they pop up and like, oh, I knew that guest that you had on, or they're my neighbor, right? I live just down the street, or we call it, whatever it is, and it's that just once removed type of a connection that goes so far, especially when it comes to those folks that are in any type of sales tied to agriculture.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't want to make this entire podcast about wrestling, but I've always been curious because I didn't wrestle, right? But the mentality that you've got to have, the discipline is off the charts. Like I can watch game tape playing basketball. I can go to practice and sweat it out, right? I could be in physical shape to compete with a wrestler, but the mental toughness of having to go in an entire match, having to starve yourself, for lack of better things, at least when I was in high school, to cut weight, and the discipline was just off the charts. Is that true, or is that just my assumption from the outside?
Well, I look at any other sport. When a wrestler wins a state title, he's got a lot more emotions. I mean, there's so much that goes into that whole season. Like you said, cutting weight, keeping your grades up. If you're on the farm, I know my kids get up early in the morning. They got cattle chores. They got to get done. Then they go to school, get home, go to wrestling practice. If you're cutting weight, you're overweight, you're sitting there at practice running. Got to do something to get the weight off, to make weight for the tournament. And then it's just a grueling match. You got go to these big tournaments anymore, and you got these good kids, and they're all good, and you got to be on your A game every match if you're going to win. So,
Don't you think? I always thought this. It does apply a lot to ag and wrestling, and the one way I think that is there's nowhere to hide, especially in wrestling. There's not four other people you can blame a loss on or a win on. It's you and the other person across from you. Same with if I have a problem in one of my fields, for example, if I forget to plant a spot or I miss it with the sprayer or whatever. You know what? There's nowhere to hide. Everybody can see it. Mm-hmm. Kind of similar, and that's one thing I really thought wrestling taught me, life lessons, where there's nowhere to hide. It's just, and I think that's helped a lot with, whatever we both do in life or anybody, athletics. It doesn't matter if it's athletics or, hey, if it's band or whatever else. Anybody that works for something, I think you get some gratification out of actually having to do something to earn what you got. So,
or doing, for parents, like Luke and myself, you working a few jobs, you got Beck Seed, you're farming, you're trying to get a little extra money to take your kids to events and my kids are getting into, we got cattle, my oldest boy's in cow-calf pairs, chickens, just keeping them on the farm because less and less kids that are on the farm or maybe in sports and they don't get to be involved in their ag. So, I mean, at least having your kids involved at a younger age is huge.
Was cutting weight hard for you?
Never hard. I usually managed it pretty well, but couldn't say that it was the easiest thing to do. It sucked.
What was the go-to?
What do you mean?
To actually make it fall off the weight, like
just run.
just run,
wrestle, sweat. Yeah, and I didn't. High school didn't do any plastics or anything like that, but college once in a while, just.
That's because all the beer you're drinking.
No beer in college.
Sounds like terrible college.
Pretty dedicated, I guess. I mean, but just sometimes 2-3 workouts a day. But didn't do nothing crazy. Didn't do no laxatives or anything like that, But
Tanner would have to add weight. No. If you would have wrestled back
then. What'd you weigh in high school?
I probably could have made it. Was it like a 111? Is there a
103, 106 now?
112.
Was there a 112?
Yeah.
I probably could have gotten into the 112. I don't think
you could have cut to 106.
You could have.
Yeah, you got to go. You always got to go a bracket less than you can.
I don't think there was anything to cut.
What Chris mentioned it, and I can't remember if it was the Ag Leader Boys you guys had on a couple of weeks ago, but it's crazy how a lot of us work off the farm just to Was it the ag
Yep.
guys? Who does that? Who works off the farm to fund our farming habit, right?
Yeah, about everyone.
About everyone. Exactly.
Like, yeah.
Exactly. We'd all like to just go hang out and sit in the tractor and not have to worry about extra phone calls, but
The people that just farm, they don't realize how nice they got it, you know. And they'd probably say the same thing about us.
They don't have they don't have bosses.
yeah.
Either. I mean,
But it does make it gratifying when you get out there, to get in the tractor, the sprayer, whatever else, and that makes it gratifying that you have actually worked off the farm.
Yeah.
So, but
So you have this career in a lot of equipment, but then you said you went to seed side of things. Are you still in equipment?
I buy and sell some equipment myself. Yeah,
Yep.
not huge or anything, but I do. I still like dabbling. I like sales. I mean, I just love, like I said earlier, networking. Seems like if I need something, and then I can pick up a phone and call somebody that knows something about what I'm looking for, or got all these connections. It's
When
great.
you're buying and selling, and you're more on the private side of that, like, do you have some customers that you're looking for a specific thing, or you just go, oh, that's a good deal, I know I could make some money on that?
I do both. If I scroll Facebook once in a while, there might be something on there that I know that somebody's looking for. When I left the ag industry, I kind of left an open book there with everybody. It's just saying that if there's anything you're looking for, reach out to me. I can either hook you up with a guy or try to help you out. At least give you some education on, if you're going to go buy something and you're going to buy it somewhere else, call me. I'll give you my input. I mean, me and Luke had a pretty deep conversation on a sprayer on the way down here and what my thoughts were on buying, leasing. I mean, my customers are always my customers. I mean, no matter what I'm doing, I got a relationship with them the last 16 years. So I figured that I don't want to jeopardize that relationship or anything. If they ever need anything, I'm here. They can use me as a sponge.
So I'm curious because Corey and I have had not super in-depth conversations about that topic. What'd you guys come out of in the drive? Is it best to lease a sprayer? Or your situation, we buy it?
I don't know if we solved the problem, but go ahead.
Probably made it more complicated, but no, I mean, 16 years. I know when I first started out in the ag industry, leasing was kind of a sticky subject with some people. You brought up the idea that to a guy, a farmer, a grower, or whatever, and he'd be all of a sudden like, "No, I'm not even going down that path."
It was a mentality of like, oh, look at they got that nice equipment, yeah, but they lease it, whatever. It's like it's still nice, whatever. Like
Still making the
The
payment.
the older generation farmer, I guess, I would say, would want to buy it, but that's back when equipment was a lot cheaper than it is today.
Right.
And so with the younger generation and trying to grow the operation, leasing does come into play. There's multiple different options that a guy could take. If your father's retiring, maybe there's an option there to lease to get it into the next generation. Is it just for if you're going to buy some land, do you want to put it on a lease to make your cash flow, your balance sheet look a little better? Then there's this one that you just got to have a cheap payment. I mean, there's 3 or 4 different ways to look at it. Mm-hmm. And hopefully the guy that's selling it as a salesman is educating his customer, because there's a lot of factors that come into play at the end of the buyouts and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
So if you're looking at buying equipment for your buying and selling as a hobby, where's your best place to go buy? Where do you get the good deals?
usually go to look at some auctions. I mean, auctions, there's I don't buy anything really too expensive. I try to stay under $100,000. I just don't have the funding behind me to go out and buy large
What do
purchases.
you mean you're riding with Luke?
He's only got
He's
3
good
tires.
for it.
He's only got 3
tires.
tires. But no, I look at auctions. I got some friends that I've built throughout the years of selling that one guy has his own equipment yard. He does a lot of he goes to retirement sales. He'll buy the whole fleet, or he'll bid the whole list. So I'll call him and have a guy looking for this. If you come across something, I keep good notes, so I send him my notes. He keeps them there on his desk, and when he comes across a sale or another wholesale lot, he'll call me and we'll put a deal together for a customer. So
We need to find out how to do that. Be able to just buy someone's entire retirement sale.
Yeah, there you go.
Keep the pieces you want, put the rest of it on DPA.
Yeah.
Why not?
There's so
Well,
many different layers to that industry, from going to the OEMs to private to jockeys to the wholesalers. Like, it's just stuff I didn't know 3 or 4 years ago.
well, it's kind of crazy too, because like a piece of equipment, like if you look at a few wholesaler guys, that piece of equipment might be on his lot, and he'll trade it to that guy for a piece of equipment, and then that guy will trade it to another guy. So that piece of equipment might go to like 3 or 4 wholesale lots before it's even retailed to a customer. Just
How do those wholesalers even get started? Do they go to like a Van Wall or AgriVision and just be like, I want to be your wholesale? Or do they go, I need a wholesale division?
back in the Horizon days when I worked with them, I did my own calling to wholesalers, getting the price of equipment, what they're going to bid on it, like kind of like your bottom, your floor of what that piece of equipment is. So I got to know some of them fairly well. A lot of them just traveled around, or you got their phone number and you text them the equipment and pictures of it, and you built the relationship. They trusted you that you're going to tell them exactly the way it was, and if you didn't, they wouldn't do business with you anymore. So they'd come in and buy millions of dollars of equipment at once. They might buy 1 item, 2 items that's $5,000-$6,000. So they got a big checkbook. And
What's the risk though? Because like, if they had let's talk sprayers, down sprayers, they had a sprayer that was spec'd out the same that the dealership down the road, same hours, all that. They're $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 cheaper. To me as a farmer, I go, why wouldn't I buy that? But there's got to be a benefit to going to the OEM, right, or the dealer.
Most of them anymore, they got their own financing, their aftermarket warranties. They can still put that on that used sprayer and sell it. They buy it in such a big bulk that, the dealership sat on it for maybe 2-3 years. And they want it gone. So they'll buy 7-8 pieces of equipment, and they'll write them a check for a certain dollar amount.
Yeah.
One thing, back to Tanner real quick, if I can step in, you're talking about going and buying a whole fleet. Let's say a retirement sale. So this is kind of where we're coming into play. We're building out a tool, an asset management tool, where you as a buyer could go in and enroll that whole fleet. If you had the depreciation schedule, maybe even the loans against it, it's going to give you track our sales minus 30 days, and it'll spit out real-time values of that equipment, tracking off of actual sales, not just what sale price is listed on AgriVision, whoever. And then you can go in and just say, you know what, I'm going to buy the whole thing because the guy's retiring. I'm going to make it, maybe it gives you a discount of X percent because you're one buyer, get it over with, right? And then you can go piece that stuff off as you want when the market, because it's going to have a forecasting tool as well. This is above my head. I get to sit in on the meetings. I just don't talk because it's a lot smarter people than me. And it's going to tell you when you can sell that to maximize your return. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, for example, now we're getting into harvest equipment. It's pretty popular. Once we turn the page, you're going to get to year end where stuff starts to rally. Maybe you go buy a whole operation the guy's done after this fall, knowing that you're going to sell off half the stuff. Maybe you carry the note for a month and you're not that worried about it. I don't know.
If you make that tool and make that easier for someone to come in and buy the whole thing in one fell swoop, doesn't that cut you out of the deal?
No.
No.
You got to get rid of the pieces. You
No.
don't want.
You got to get rid of some of the pieces.
Okay.
I mean,
You don't need 7 complete lines of equipment.
Right, but he was talking about you could sit there and sell them individually.
Oh yeah.
right.
Right.
I mean, in theory, I suppose we could charge for the tool, but in my opinion, you'd want the more quality data you can have in a tool,
Yeah.
the more powerful it is.
Yep.
So I'm not in charge of that division, but at the same sense, in my mind, there's going to be a lot of people retiring. So if you can be the middleman and helping maybe, we talked about this on the way up, if a son's taking it over, we can go in and appraise it all. You can see the real-time values, and then they can get a loan, maybe not, whatever it may be. Maybe you're throwing it in an LLC and they're depreciating it out.
Right.
Because no one wants to give Uncle Sam all their money, right? So how can you be the middleman in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you can't. I'm not sure, but
Well, I just thought that's the way you come across opportunity. When you described all the different ways, that's the way you can get to it. If you can get to somebody who's not overly proud of their equipment, someone that you're going to have a consistent quality, right? Some of these guys take really good care of their stuff. Some take just good care of their stuff. But if you needed that combine and a front wheel assist tractor, but you could get rid of the rest or whatever it looked like to be able to get in there and have that opportunity. But you got to have a big checkbook to be able to swing an entire line of equipment, or at least a very strategic partner.
That's all I thought. I just need someone that give me like $20 million and I'll make it 40 million. But I just need access to that without like, oh, I'm going to need to see your balance sheet. I'm going to need to do this. Like, I need a non-bank partner.
Yeah.
That just trust me here. I got this.
That's what I tell my banker all the time.
I need you to be less like a banker. Just give me the money.
You don't need my stuff.
Yeah.
Give me the money.
Come on. I haven't missed a payment.
Yeah. I think, like you were saying on the equipment, I think there's less and less, like with these big dealerships, like ag dealerships that are out there, there's getting to be less and less for like a nice piece of equipment, like say a tractor. The value of a nice tractor, the guy keeps it in the shed, takes good care of it, and one that's maybe sat outside, there's not a big enough spread in between the nice tractor versus the used, the old tractor that's sat outside. Mm-hmm. That's
yeah.
The nice piece needs to be worth a lot more.
Sure. Well, it is kind of interesting to think about how quality plays into things. But as you've bought and sold, have you ever sold using DPA?
I have not yet. No. Nope.
We
were just talking about maybe putting a tractor on there. So
right now you can list up to 4 items, and they don't charge you any commission.
That's
And you can see me.
Exactly. Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
Through the end of the month or through the end of August?
August.
End
And
of August.
Yep. We're rolling over to August sales after Wednesday. So we usually list stuff, lock it up for about 3 weeks. So would be July 29th sales deadline is Wednesday. I mean, it's a loose deadline, but yeah, so we're already buttoned up into
Can
August.
I get free buyer's premium too? On 4 pieces? Look for the most expensive
You
pieces.
can't afford to buy.
We'll give you the deal.
What a special opportunity for you listeners. Now through the end of August, we have the Maya 3x3x3 campaign.
What's 3x3x3?
You get 3% financing, 3-year parts and warranty, or the third option is if you want to pay cash, you get 3 different kinds of discounts.
Yeah, you can get $5,000 off of an 8-row, $7,500 off a 12-row, or $10,000 off a 16-row from Maya Cornheads. Go to mayacornheads.com or slide into our DMs and we'll hook you up with the closest dealer.
We've been watching. It's hard to find a deal on DPA sales. Like if you want to sell something, that's the place to sell.
That crane I should have bought.
You should have bought the crane.
It was like $6,000. Like, think of all the things I could do with the crane.
Yeah, it'd be cool to.
Make some great TikToks.
You always wanted a dinosaur out front. You could hang a dinosaur from your crane.
I was more thinking of. I came in like a wrecking ball.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You don't get the air fixed in here, you might need it.
I need. Yeah.
I do.
Do you use Facebook Marketplace quite a bit?
Yeah, I sell some small stuff on there.
What's the go-to? Because like Facebook Marketplace is like the haggle capital of the world. Like, what's your go-to? Like,
As far as
when you want to go buy a piece, someone's got it listed for $10,000, and you know it's not worth quite that. Like, what do you come?
I won't even.
Is this available?
I won't even. No, none of that. No. It's if I know if it's on there the right price, then I'll start. If it's within like $1,000 of where I think it needs to be, then I'll go on there and start. Texting them back. I usually get their phone number. I don't like the texting back and forth stuff. So I'm just like, can I call you on this? Because I don't got time to sit there and text back and forth with people. So I usually just call them, cut to the chase, either get it bought or.
Yeah, people love to haggle on there. I got some buddies that say cut the price in half and add 50. Start there. Like if it's $10, $5.50. Yeah, 10,000. 50,000 or 5,050.
I think the marketplace is like my old man sitting there on eBay. He just destroys eBay in the wintertime. It's just
you got a lot of cool stuff in your
Yeah.
shop.
It's a dangerous place.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law likes to sell stuff out of storage units that he buys on eBay. And
Storage Wars.
Yeah.
Wow.
He had a unit that came out with some collector coins and that kind of stuff. And there was 2 of those quarter booklets. You had each state had a quarter.
Yep.
2 quarter booklets that were unopened. And so he listed them, put the description in there. Here's 2 brand new quarter booklets unopened. The person got them, opened them up, and gave them a bad review because they thought they were full of quarters. Like, the book's never been open, so how could I physically have put any of the quarters in it? Like, how much more clear do you get?
That's why you need hassle-free people like DPA.
There you go.
That's right.
There is a place for it all, though. There's a place for Facebook Marketplace, there's a place for eBay, because I've seen Dave come up to some auctions of household items or whatever, and they sell it all like DPA with a big online auction, and some of those things bring dimes, like pennies on the dollar, right? But eBay, right, a worldwide audience that someone is specifically looking for that unique one item might have brought 10 times what Dave's bought. But then you got to sit there and list them all and all that. And it's just...
I was hoping he'd be here today because I was going to give him shit on one of his last sales. The guy had some cattle. So he had a couple of cow-calf pairs, and then he had a couple of bulls. And then
the pig was the best.
There was, a pig.
Mangalista.
Oh, Blue Wall has one of those.
Oh, really?
Another wrestler guy, sorry.
It looked like a tick. It's this fat thing with a snout.
But
Some of it with their meat.
Yeah,
Like
their
Wagyu
meat's
of
great.
pork is
Yeah.
what they call it, right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I was watching them because there was 3 open heifers on there. And I was like, all right, I bet Dave's sale, these are going to go cheap. We'll just buy them. We'll pour the corn to them for a little bit, and we'll just slip them on a semi.
You're talking the hogs?
No, the heifers,
Okay.
the calves.
Okay.
And, okay, that's fine. So I'm watching them, and there's 3, and I'm watching them again, and I go back to my watch list, and there's 2. Like, what the hell?
One died.
It did.
Heat stroke, was it hot that day?
No, I had hardware disease.
And it just died that day?
It died the day before the sale closed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I said, man, you lucked out, because if that would have happened after the sale closed, you'd have to do math and settle up with somebody. I mean, you buy as is, where
How
is.
big are the calves?
They were, I think they were weighing like 1,050, something like that. Like, it wasn't going to take long. Put them in the feed yard.
Don't you think it just would have been easier from the get-go when he got that auction, just load them up on a trailer and take them to the sale barn? With where the market's at right now?
But is that the highest and best?
No, not for
Where's the sale barn around here?
commission.
Or do you go to Dunlap?
Well, you can go to
you can just take
Dunlap,
them to
you can go to
Colfax.
Colfax, you can go to Tama, you can go, yeah.
Gotcha.
Tama doesn't have to be all black? Or is
Not at the sale barn. To sell to the packing house.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess like on the auctions, if there's an auction item, I always try to go look at it if I'm going to buy something. I mean,
You hear that, Corey?
I'm sure you had to learn somehow. Tell me about the time that you didn't go look at it.
I don't know if I've ever really been burnt, I guess.
Oh my
I just try to limit my, I don't know, just, I'll go look at
Limit
it.
your exposure.
When you're talking like, well, cattle right now, you're talking $2,000-3,000 for, well,
Yep.
upper 2,000s for 1,000-pound cattle. I mean, you need to go look at it. I don't know.
Or
What,
Like
Luke, on
machine lives?
DPA, what's most people do? What's the percentage of people buying it all?
Well, we've got buyers all over the U.S., so it's really just depends where you're at and where the item's at. Where we try to limit the exposure for the actual buyer is taking good videos, good pictures, good descriptions. And I told these guys before, if we misrepresent something on accident, by any means, we make it right. I think that's the only right thing to do. But just taking good quality pictures and good list. What was yours? Yours was a semi, right?
I've had several, but my example was a semi.
Yeah. I mean, those are the things that those shouldn't get missed. I mean, so that's why we're big on quality control. Right. Like Chris and I, he's just came on with us, and he takes really good. He's easy to train because he's been in the equipment industry. He takes good pictures, good descriptions. I mean, there's some companies out there that it's just they chase the signature of, hey, sign that you're going to sell this with me, and then they pass you on to the next person. We talked about that today. I try to quality control everything because I want good experience. Most of our business comes off repeat customers. I don't know the percentage. Actually, Justin's going to try to get that for me, but we do a lot of repeat business, and that's why, one, we're comfortable offering 0%.
Right.
Because we think if we get in the door, you're going to keep working with us. But two, that's why we haven't done certain models as other companies and having just a bunch of people out in the countryside listing items. We want good quality items, good representation for the buyers, because if you don't have any buyers, what good is an online auction?
That's fair.
One thing I've learned talking to Dave and helping him do his auctions and stuff, he's always looking at more of the back end. Like, it looks like that service uses auction time or whatever.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
like this or that. Like, is your guys' system your own proprietary system?
Yep. It's our own. We have our own, and we're actually redoing a little bit of it right now. But Nick Prinslow, I'll name drop him. He's the CSO for us. He handles the whole website. It's his baby. So everything from organizing, reorganizing daily the auction order to the actual interface is all our own. So we do or have the ability to white glove it for, say, a dealership wants to use us.
Yeah.
Like you see some dealerships have, whether it's Sullivan or whoever on the back end, we can white glove it however you want, but the interface is ours. So, which makes it more controllable.
Yeah, and I do like it compared to others. I mean, I can look and you guys basically tell me what time frame that piece is going to be up, so I don't sit around and wait for it to come up. And yeah, you can see it coming up the list, and then it's going to sit there and soft close.
Yep.
That's what we call it, right?
Yep.
Every time you bid it. What's yours set at?
Oh, is it 45 seconds or a minute? I can't remember what the additional
I
time
don't know. There's
is.
one auction site that kicks back up to 5 minutes.
It's not.
I'm
It's not us.
I'm like,
Boy, that's
oh
terrible.
my God. Like, we're going to be here till midnight. Is
But there's. I have learned that.
there anybody else that would like to pay overpriced for this piece of equipment?
I have learned that though over the short amount of time here is there's a nuance and it's an art to how you order each auction, what piece of equipment's selling on what page. There's a reason we don't list them all on one big page. If there's two like items, you want them split up on different pages. You don't want them right next to each other.
Right, because they're same bidders.
Same bidders.
Right? They
Yeah.
just lost this one. Oh, crap. No, I got,
Yeah.
Oh, you got to have a little time to think about
Gotta
it.
have a little time to think about it. Yeah, but there's always things that we're changing to make it more user friendly. Obviously an app for your phone is the next thing too that we're gonna have. Anything we can do to make it easier and more accessible. So when Tanner's in Minneapolis or Minnesota on vacation, he can bid on items and he's not missing out.
I'll just make sure the app works good. I've been through a couple where it's like, we want an app, get the app, and it just doesn't flow
No.
quite right like the website or whatever. I mean, I get you're trying, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to. And then it pushes you to the app instead of the
Oh,
website.
sure.
It's
Yeah.
like, no, I want to.
We walk before we run. Dallas is
Yeah.
the guy that oversees all of that. And again, that asset manager I was telling you about, he wants to make sure it's really bulletproof before it gets out to the end user. So we're creating groups, test groups, farmers, bankers, whoever that are going to really try to break anything before it gets out to our customers. We don't want a bad experience.
Yeah.
If you need other people to try and test it and break it, we're good at breaking stuff.
I believe that. I believe that.
I do like to test things.
I want to know though, Chris, your experience. What is the best piece of equipment to flip? What have you had the most luck with?
Oh, I would say 8330 tractor.
Oh yeah, that's pretty specific. I was expecting tractor or
Oh.
combine, but
Yeah.
I love that 8330.
Yeah, no, I'd say that's best.
So why is it? What makes it so good to be flipped? Because I would expect a 30 series just to always be expensive.
They are. That's why everybody wants one.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's affordable. It's the best tractor I think John Deere made. So,
And it's
but yeah, tractors in general. I mean, that's why I go to look at certain items like maybe ones that, like one thing you don't want to buy is like a 6155 M or R because they're like flooded the market. I try to find something that's not flooded, where I feel comfortable buying it, knowing I can sell it. And but yeah, tractors are definitely good because you can use them all year round too.
Yeah.
8330 is like 2009.
Yeah, 2006 to 2009.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think it was
So it's like kind of the last frontier before emissions really ramped up.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Everyone knows that. I don't know. Were they doing allocations then, like only making for people that ordered them, or were they actually stocking?
That was right when I started in 2009. So I think basically the first tractor I think I ordered was like the R series. And I remember back in 2010, I think we did have some 30 series, late 30s and early 2010 R series on the lot. But very seldom did we ever have after that tractors on the lot for sale.
That's what I feel like has smart by the equipment, right? People that they're not making ones that aren't sold, but really kind of hurt the market. You could never get a great deal on this new stuff because there's not 30 extra sitting on the lot, type of deal.
But they only cost like $250,000 back then too,
Right.
which is good. I mean, now if you stock 2 or 3 of them up on a lot, you're talking $1 million.
Yeah.
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 I tell you what, if you're looking for a floater, if you want a John Deere 4 wheels floater, you need to go to our local dealership. They've got way too many of those sitting on their lot in Nevada. Must have been a lease turnover or whatever it is, but I can't imagine that you couldn't get a good deal on that.
I wish I could talk confidently.
Dale
about,
Peterson might have something.
What happened
I mean,
there?
You helped me get up there and get those floaters listed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have a good Christmas.
Well, if you want, I mean, Bex has that commitment rewards. You can get brand new equipment through Bex. I mean, that's the other
I
thing,
mean, we get a fuel trailer for having you on the podcast. So.
there you go.
You
Yeah.
guys drag that over with bald tires?
One, and it's a spare.
Hey, he might take the 4 tires off of the fuel trailer, put on his pickup, and put his on the fuel trailer.
Wouldn't that look funny? That'd be kind of neat.
Take it.
You'd have the loudest fuel trailer going down the road.
I would. I would have the loudest.
You would.
That's right.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to worry about wondering if it's still hooked up or not.
True, you'd hear it.
You'd just be able to hear it.
Yeah.
Loud is safe, right? That's what motorcycles say.
You have the dual exhaust and glass packs and whips on your
Yep.
truck back in high school.
Yep. You're not going to get sideswiped on the interstate. They know you're there. Yep.
Oh.
Pretty good.
Man.
No,
I'll actually, I'm curious about this. So what, you just came off of selling equipment.
Yep.
What's the next big glut of equipment that's going to hit the market at John Deere, or have they done a pretty good job, like you said, of not overproducing? I mean, we all know manufacturers are really slowed down, but where's the next big deal?
You're saying where they're going to have the most equipment sitting?
Yep.
Like what's going to be
Like
the next?
he's talking the floaters up here. Is
Okay.
it the lease return market that's coming back? That, or are we going to have a bunch of tractors, a bunch of floaters, or what are you thinking?
Well, I like
Crystal ball.
I think a lot of leased equipment. Everything's leased. John Deere changed their lease program. I know Case has changed their lease program. Even with Bex, I know running Case leases through their commitment rewards program. All these dealerships are getting, I don't know if they're running scared or what, but they're fine tuning their lease programs so they're not getting, because like 3-4 years ago they really, I think, got hammered on lease returns. Now they're sticking them with the dealers, so the dealers have to basically take full course of it, and so when they get lease returns, they're gonna leave them on the dealer's lot. The dealer can't take them back to John Deere, so John Deere's kind of, John Deere and Case both are gonna put their dealers on the hook for all this stuff. And
What was that perfect storm where the leases were actually coming back in and they made money on them?
we were talking about that on the rate down here too.
God.
we should have had a mic in the truck.
Well,
What
there would have been a few more
What
F-bombs
a deal.
probably in there, but
First tractor I ever bought. We bought one on an auction and then resold it 3 years later and made money. Like, this was the greatest deal ever.
But, we're all calibrated to it's a depreciating asset. We made money, but no, really, that's just how much more money costs at that.
Yeah.
And that's what's scary about it.
Yeah,
Like,
then to go replace that piece of equipment.
yeah, it's not the $4 corn that's scary. We've all been at $4 corn. It's the fact that we're paying inputs that, like, we're at $6 or
Yeah.
$7 corn. That's what's going to hurt us.
yep.
So it's tough.
We're never going to full-time farm.
No. Oh, there's your floaters.
Yeah, a bunch of 2021 F430 365s. 4 365s. You can spread all year round.
That lease versus own argument that, back in the day, farmers wanted to own their piece of equipment. But I think we might be there with the technology, the GPS, like the subscription that everyone's up in arms about, or like See and Spray that you have to pay a per acre charge. But at the end of the day, like, we all know technology has to be updated, firmware updates and all that. Like, so someone's got to be able to do that, right? You always want the newest and best.
Right.
So that's kind of, I don't know, something.
Before I was leaving Deere, I think there was even talk about maybe they're going to have, like, if you put say you buy a combine, you're only going to pay for so many separator hours. It might be you used it 200 hours, you pay for 200 hours. It's a set fee. Something might be coming down the road that way too. I mean, everything's getting subscription based phones.
Right.
all the technology now is getting subscription based. Maybe that's something that, you know, John Deere owns the equipment, but you pay a subscription on it or something.
I can see both ways. Right. I love to own something, but at the same time, like I like knowing my costs and that the
If
lease.
you can know your exact cost.
Right.
Yeah.
Going.
What's
it's a
our
lot
corn
better.
price going to be then?
Right.
I mean,
That's a variable.
That's the
But you're just trying to cut out as many variables as you can.
yeah.
Right.
And that's a trick I see about that subscription side of things. You know, I got it when they were going to do it on the technology piece. There's not a lot of overhead costs, and I say that tongue in cheek. Obviously, we know the research and development that goes into updating those. But if you start doing that on combines, I just don't see that happening, because then John Deere's got to carry so many $1 billion worth of inventory on their balance
Yeah, they're
sheet.
going to be smart enough that they ain't going to do that, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
But it might still be that way with some other type of, you know, maybe it's
Yep.
Berkshire Hathaway that ends up with a Green Rock that goes along
Green
and
Rock. There you go.
owns and runs their business that way. I mean, somebody's going to have to put the capital out and sit there with an asset that's depreciating. You know, we'll put the math together as to what that's worth. It'd just be tough. I still, before we wrap this up, I still think, Corey, our next campaign with DPA, they need to be the funders of our theory for, can you buy a combine and sell it after harvest, buy a planter, sell it after planting, have them be the line of credit, and we run an operation where you buy and sell just before you need it and right after you're done using it.
Do you? If it does work, is that something you want everyone to know?
Why not?
You're saying if it works, it's a
You're-
competitive
you're
advantage.
We're influential, but still, I mean,
I want them to fund the $20 million that I need to just go buy.
You're saying go buy a planter in April 1st and sell it in May 15th.
yeah. Yeah, or you might want to hold on to it until after you know you don't have to do any replant.
Okay. Okay.
I think you'd buy. I thought it was you wanted to buy off season. So
Try-
like you
try
would
as much
buy
as
a
you
combine off after harvest, then use it for the next harvest, or not?
That was the two different ways
That's
of
what-
looking at it.
like-
Was if I can get by without having a machine shed. Like if I don't have to store my combine from November 1st through
Yeah, but you can go to the dealership and
August.
they'll for $800 they'll store it and clean it and inspect it for you
But that was-
and keep it in their shed.
that was
It's
one of the
getting a little
things-
Higher
Is
now.
it higher now?
Well, just the washing part of it, $300 some.
Okay.
Said Andy.
But see, if you do that, you never have to. The theory with this is then you never have to do the preseason check and fork over the 12 grand or 40 grand or whatever they say they found, as long as you got it bought right.
That's okay. Yeah.
You know, you got to get something bought field ready, right? So it's just a theory,
clean one
a
of those
concept.
for
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
It's gonna be perfect.
field ready.
Yeah, feel ready.
Until
Why
it's
I was
not.
late. I was bringing our combine home from the dealership, and I was on the phone with Tanner, and
Yep.
I just trying to leave, and I'm just screaming at me, low coolant, low coolant. I'm like,
Just
it's been
after the
sitting at the dealership, getting. I'm like, what the hell? And
I never
pull it
had
back
that
in
problem
there.
When Chris was
he's like, and the mechanic's like, what's going on? I'm like, low coolant. Oh, he's like, I thought I had it filled up. He had the jug up there still.
he hadn't put it in.
No,
They ran it through the shop.
no, he did. He didn't let it cycle through long enough to get through, and then so he had to add more.
Yeah, they ran it through the dealership, opened one door and opened the other one, drove it through.
Yeah.
Ran it through.
$800. Looks good.
Yeah.
don't you think with we've seen it in our area, a bunch of service guys have went independent. I mean, you're starting to see more of that too. And then
We have this issue. We have 2 mechanics at our local dealer right now, and one is having hip surgery this month, or actually next week, I think. And he'll be out he thinks he's going to be back for harvest, but there ain't no way. This is his second hip that he's had done. Really, really good mechanic. And there's another kid there. That's it.
I mean, you saw a lot of
That's
that,
it.
your time at the dealerships too, Chris. Without probably elaborating too much, it was just it's hard to keep those guys around. They can make good money on them.
Well, and they're all even for other mechanics jobs that are, better hours, better pay, whatever. Some of them are going to go work on generators, right? They don't move, right? It's just the diesel engine that your motor that you're dealing with, and they're getting paid better, better hours, whatever. They don't have to go out on call, and I don't blame them.
The guys that do go out on their own, right? They get to set their own hours. Most of them still work too much anyway, and they get to set their own rate, and they get to work on whatever they want to work on. Some of those guys though complain because they also then have to do the bookwork and the record keeping and collect their bills.
And somehow it's not as easy to get a check from a farmer if they can't just put it on farm plan.
And they got to go track them down to get paid too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I know like the guys in our area, they know what guys to work on and what guys not to, to get paid. So,
Sure.
I mean, and they're kind of pick and choosing their own work too. I mean,
Send out all these. I still don't know if I want to make the joke. I was gonna say all wrestlers are short. I was gonna say send out that short army. Go break some kneecaps. Get those bills collected.
There you go.
I'd have to wear a suit and tie.
Not a suit and
No?
tie,
Okay.
but certainly not a singlet either.
Okay, so yeah.
I
I
never
don't
thought
think
about being. You should have brought us one. We would have put it on the wall.
Yeah, you need to. Yeah.
I never thought about the mechanics that go out on their own, the private mechanics. Like, they can put someone no. Whereas if you're at the dealership, you got to work on that guy that comes in and is in there every day, bothering them, prodding them. It's like, you know what? You can tell them pound sand.
And then they get their combine home and it breaks down, and then the technician's back out there getting ripped on.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you brought Chris over. Chris,
Are you?
Chris with a K,
With all the boxes checked?
Hawkeye fan.
Seed.
What?
Seed.
You realize every time you say that, it's going to go bleep. They're going to think that you're cussing.
It's not going to go bleep. It's going to go Hogamar.
No, we can't do that either. No free ads. So
Yeah. Hey, we could come up with something. Maybe it's like a donkey noise.
there you go.
There you go. Instead of a bleep.
Sell with DPA.
He also came with a little bit of a sense of humor, so I appreciate him letting us poke fun at him. But maybe he'll come back.
I'll come back for more. Yeah.
This would be a good room to cut weight in.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
It really isn't overly terrible in here.
And you're
Not
the one
yet.
closest to the hot box.
Yeah, it all comes
That's where
in
you
off
put the
that
bad
window.
guess
It's
in the corner.
What's the
Those-
hot box?
the
there?
black shades on a south facing window. It just radiates
Ah.
heat.
Well, when we get done, we're going to spar a little bit, wrestle a little bit.
No,
Yeah.
I'll leave.
Is that what you call it when you wrestle?
I think
around?
that's like
Jiu-jitsu?
Yeah. They spar.
Yeah.
Because my old wrestling coach at UNO, he did that. So come out in his gi. The gi is what you wear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's
Yeah,
what it's called?
it's called a gi.
Did you ever think
thought that
about
was a
going
part of
on to
something.
I was
like
gonna say-
cage fighting or anything like that?
Oh no.
Because like a lot of times, like that's where it starts is wrestling, and then they go do other
Yeah. No.
martial arts type
No.
stuff.
That's too nice.
Somebody just got too lazy. Instead of gear, they just stopped at the GE.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
Yeah.
Too much
So
shorthand.
it'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, that's good. Well, we can pop out of here. Maybe these guys want to drink before they get on the road.
There you go.
Listeners, we appreciate you hanging out with us. Always do. Corey, what do you tell them?
Crack a cold one. You deserve it.